Parenthood Keystone, we understand your teenage years are full of a lot of different transitions. During those years, your body transitions, where you go to school transitions, and you as a person begin to transition from a kid to an adult. Sometimes these transitions are exciting and allow you to do new things you couldn't when you were younger. Sometimes, though, these transitions can be overwhelming or scary as you gain new responsibilities and don't always have the answers you need. One of the transitions that can be both exciting and nerve-wracking for teens is their healthcare transition. A healthcare transition is the process of you, a young person, starting to become more independent in your healthcare experiences and choices. A healthcare transition can include things like you going to your appointments alone for the first time, going to new doctors besides your pediatrician, and seeking help from new people other than your parents. Unless you hear about good healthcare resources from other people in your life, this process can be difficult because you don't always know where to start, who to trust, and how to make your plans a reality. Over the next couple minutes, we are going to give you some tips and tricks on how to start learning about your local healthcare options and trusted adults that can point you in the right direction. You don't have to look far to find your first group of resources. You can start this journey of becoming independent by asking your parents or guardians about their healthcare situation. You can ask them if they have a regular doctor they go to, if they know providers who can help you with your specific healthcare needs, and how they usually pay for healthcare. It's important when asking your parents about healthcare that you ask if they have what's called health insurance. Health insurance is a kind of insurance coverage that helps you pay for any medical expenses, like a doctor's visit or medications. Sometimes adults get their insurance through their jobs, and other times they get it through the government. Knowing if or how much insurance you have can help you and your family avoid expensive bills down the road. Make sure when asking about your family's insurance that you ask for the name of your family's insurance company and the name of the specific plan you're on. Most likely, your insurance company has a website where you can look up which healthcare services and providers are available to you in your area. Sometimes you can even search for doctors depending on what they specialize in or what populations of people they know how to work well with. Whenever you go to a doctor, it is important to ask if they accept your particular health insurance and how much you'll have to pay for your visit that day. Depending on how much insurance you have, your visit might be free, or you might have to pay some money out of pocket, called a copay. If you are interested in using your parents' health insurance, but don't want your parents to find out, it's important that you call your insurance company and ask about their privacy policies. It's possible that your parents could get a bill saying what services you received if you don't do this. Sometimes insurance companies respect young people's privacy and allow them to get the care they need without their parents finding out. Other times their policies don't allow them to hide your visits from your parents. If this is the case, it's important to consider telling your parents about your doctor's appointment. If that is either not safe or something you still don't want to do, you may have to consider not using your insurance and paying out of pocket instead. If you don't feel comfortable asking your parents questions about how to receive healthcare, you can always turn to the trusted adults at your school. If you are wanting to talk to someone because you are experiencing difficulties with your mental health, your school guidance counselor or social worker can listen to you and either help you individually with your concerns or refer you to another mental health care professional who they think can help you more than they can. If you are having problems at home that include violence or neglect, your school guidance counselor can also make sure you and your family members get the help you need. They can also help you receive care if you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual violence, such as assault or rape. Another trusted adult at your school who can point you in the right direction is your school nurse. In addition to helping you if you are sick at school, your school nurse is a great person to ask if you have questions about your health or wanting to see a doctor for something specific. Nurses know a lot about health and the body, and they can connect you to other local providers. If you ask them to help, your school nurse can often help you schedule an appointment and prepare for it accordingly. One of the most common things young people start their healthcare transition with is searching for information and services concerning their sexual health. If you are planning on having sex or currently having sex, it is important to know how to keep you and your partners healthy and safe. Here at Planned Parenthood Keystone, we offer a variety of services for teenagers and young adults that are at no cost to minors and completely confidential, which means you can receive the health care you need without your parents' permission, and Planned Parenthood will not tell your parents or anyone about your visit. Planned Parenthood's family planning resources include birth control, such as the pill, shot, patch, IUD, or birth control ring, testing and treatment for STIs, also known as sexually transmitted infections, pregnancy testing, treatment for urinary tract infections and yeast infections, and emergency contraceptives like Plan B. If you want to make an appointment, you can go online to plannedparenthood.org. You can also call to make an appointment at 1-800-230-7526. Sometimes making an appointment online or over the phone can be an intimidating process, so here are some things you want to know when making your appointment. First, they'll ask for your name, contact information, and preferred mode of contact. Then, they'll ask you the reason for your visit. During that time, you should share as much detail as you feel comfortable sharing over the phone or on the internet. For some people, this is a lot of information, and some people are a little more vague. Last, they'll ask if you are planning to use any kind of insurance, and if so, what kind. If you have any questions about payment, this is the time to ask those questions. On the day of your appointment, you'll start by checking in at the front desk, and they'll most likely give you some form of paperwork to fill out. Afterwards, you'll chat with one of our healthcare providers where they'll take your medical history and ask you questions like, are you taking any sort of medication? Or do you have any allergies? Next, they will collect what are called your vitals. This is things like recording your height, taking down your weight, and recording your blood pressure. Depending on the reason for your visit, you might next go to the lab. This is where they'll ask you to pee in a cup for urine analysis, or they might ask you for a blood draw. Your final step in your Planned Parenthood visit will be seeing either our doctor or nurse. Depending on the reason for your visit, you will either talk with that person one-on-one, and they'll help you with your healthcare needs, or they may require a physical examination. If you have questions about what will happen during your exam, it's important to ask them. You can also request that the doctor or nurse talks you through the entire process. It's important that your questions get answered, and remember, while it might feel embarrassing or scary, it's their job to help you and to answer any questions you may have. If you are interested in learning more about your reproductive health options, but don't need to see a doctor or nurse, you can also visit what's called Planned Parenthood's Health Resource Center. Planned Parenthood's Health Resource Center provides free one-on-one sex education and counseling to Berks County teens ages 13 through 19. When meeting one of our trained educators, they can answer any of your questions about things like birth control, safer sex, healthy relationships, puberty, gender and sexuality, bodies and anatomy. To sign up for your free confidential online appointment, you can go online to www.calendly.com/ppkhrc because you as a young person have a right to the answers you need and the care you deserve.